Hey, again.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks.
Okay, awesome. No, I can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, I know that's beautiful.
Awesome. Uh, so Agrieneth, welcome. This is a new little thing I'm doing for my Facebook guys every Monday.
Mm.
And also for myself, it's kind of like therapy. Every Monday I get on here and I ramble on for 2 hours, and then I disappear until the following week Monday.
Oh,
So, uh,
beautiful. It's
yeah.
a
So
it's a
I
big little thing that you're doing.
No, it's a very little thing. Half the time I'm actually talking to myself. So
That's how it starts.
people will watch this tomorrow or the day after. You know how people are.
Yeah,
They know, but they'll wait until the following day to
yeah,
actually
they are
catch up
never
to
there
things.
live with you.
Never. But I mean, like I said, it's all right. That's how it is. So Agnes, before we start, I just want you to introduce yourself to my audience. Let them know who you are. You've done some big things, so maybe mention one or two things that you've done, and basically, what we're going to talk about today from your side.
Uh, I've done some big things. I'm not sure about that, but I'll just introduce
Yeah,
myself.
just okay.
Hi, everyone. My name is Agrieneth Masule, and I guess I'm a friend of Eddie's. I've known you for a few years from uni, and I think, oh God, 15 years now.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
can you
a long
imagine
time.
that?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. So today I'm here on the capacity of community service or charity work. So that's how I landed this sort of chat with you. And I've been doing it for the past, say, 20 years, ever
my
since
goodness.
junior school. Yeah. So I've been doing it ever since junior school. So I took a route into serving my purpose in life to helping others from as early as Form 1, Form 2, and I've tried to keep it up ever since then. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you
No,
want me to,
brilliant,
to introduce
brilliant,
myself
brilliant.
further, or is that enough?
Nah, there's more. I feel like you're underselling yourself.
If anything, I guess I'll answer to you, but I think that's the basic thing about me. And I'm a teacher professionally. I'm a teacher. I've been a teacher for the past 12 years of my life, and I'm a mother of two. And I've been all over Botswana in all the rural places teaching, and that's how actually I've managed to continue doing my community charity work. And we help where we can, and we do with the best with what we can. So I take it that this chat with you might be able to help me reach out to people that might be interested in helping.
True. It's very
Yeah,
important just to support each other in our various causes. Because I always
that's true.
say, we do flyers, we do a lot of things to try and get people to buy into what we're doing, or to contribute into what we're doing. But
Mm,
sometimes just someone else relating to what you are actually doing can get a third party to say, hey, who's your friend? I heard you guys are having a
yeah.
chat. How can I assist? And there's something that I was into years ago, and a lot of people that I spoke to were like, Eddie, it's not for you. It's a great cause, but
Mm,
it shouldn't come from you. It's weird when it's coming from you. So,
mm-hmm.
and it was this thing about pads, right?
Yeah.
And I always felt that it's a tragedy, right? That something that occurs naturally to women, right?
Mm,
That women have to pay for.
yeah.
It,
Yeah.
it, it, it didn't make sense to me. I was like, it doesn't make sense that what they go through is a natural occurrence. It's not like you can switch it on and switch it off, you
Very
know?
true. That's my argument
But
exactly. That's why I'm so
yeah,
passionate about it because, yeah.
but for you to deal with it, you have to pay for it. I'm like, it's almost like, the way we say water is a universal right, and
Mm-hmm.
everyone has the right to
Deserves
water.
clean
I
water.
feel like
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like it's the same. We need to make the same argument. So, aren't you? And I tried to do it, and everybody was like, "Nah, Eddie, it's weird coming from you, because you're
Mm-hmm.
a man. This wait until a woman kind of takes up the mantle, and then you can come from under them and support them, But you pushing this agenda, it doesn't add up. And when I
No, they
saw
shouldn't
what,
have done that. They shouldn't have done that. Actually, I argue that men should be in the forefront because,
mm,
to be honest, a man has a girlfriend, a man has a wife, a man has a daughter, a man has a friend who's a woman, and all these women go through this. And you, as a man, should be able to understand what this woman or this girl child goes through, especially for single fathers. They struggle because everything to do with menstruation, to do with puberty, to do with any development regarding a girl, is always left to the mother. So a lot of men struggle to actually cater for these girls and help them in simple ways like, do you have sanitary pads? Are you on your days? Are you having cramps? How can I help? Do you need a painkiller? Those things. If men were in the forefront arguing for us, I think we wouldn't even have to pay for sanitary pads. Mainly because if you look at the fact that a lot of people in power are men, and half the time anything they say passes. Like if a few men put their heads together and they say sanitary pads should be free, I think it would actually pass and sanitary pads will be free for all the girls in the school. But because they see it as something that should be dealt with as a hidden things, like a cultural taboo, nobody wants to talk about menstruation. Nobody wants to talk about anything to do with blood. So that's why your friends were probably saying, Eddie, you are a man, leave it to somebody who is actually closer to the idea than you as a man or you as a boy at the time. I
yeah.
mean, have
And
you fought for it? I think you would have actually done amazing things right now. Just think about it.
yeah, and it was, and the funny thing is, I was already a man at the time. I think I was even married already, right? I think because this might have been around 20, either 2016 or 2018,
Oh, okay.
around that time.
Not
Yeah.
so long ago. Yeah.
Yeah, and the idea was, a lot, because I did a small study on how to alleviate the problem, right? How do we
Mm-hmm.
deal with this issue? How do we make this issue affordable to those
Mm-hmm.
who can least afford it, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
I mean, years before that, around 20, I think 2008, I was a volunteer teacher. I did 2 years volunteer teaching, in one year in Mochudi and 1 year in Habroni. And in Mochudi, the biggest issue was the issue of how to deal with young girls who are just getting to get their periods, and they don't know what to do with it, and parents can afford pads. Sometimes they use the worst possible means of dealing with it, and I'm like, that should not be the case, because if it's not done right, that's what causes a lot of problems, in the future, right? So so I'm glad that you're taking it up, and the conversation is coming up again. And I really, really, really think, yeah, it looks like, oh yeah, there you are. It's all right,
Yeah,
don't
and
worry,
I
it's
have
podcast TV.
my son is here and I'm trying to get rid of him. It's just we won't be able to converse in any way when he's here. Can you please go?
Have him wave at us that he can go.
Yeah, just say hello and then you can go.
Hi, how are
Wave,
you?
wave and say bye hi and bye. Bye. Sama ka may isa ba? Close the door for me.
So yeah,
Okay,
so
Kiabon.
So yeah, so like
Yeah.
I was saying, right? I was rambling on. I'm really sorry. So I was just saying, like, I really saw I heard some really crazy stories, and stories where I was like, this shouldn't be happening, in this day and age. It should not happen.
Mm.
And that had me thinking to say, actually, why are women paying for these things? They shouldn't. It's it's like,
Doesn't
this
make
thing should
sense.
be, it should be freer than toilet paper,
Yeah. You know what
you
I always
know?
compare this to? I always argue that why are condoms free in every clinic
Thank
that
you.
you find in Botswana, like all over.
Yeah.
And having sex is a choice, but having
Yeah.
menstruation is not a choice.
It's not a
So
choice.
that's not. And I usually say the things that young girls have to go through to be able to secure sanitary pads are really, really upsetting, especially in rural places like this. I mean, I haven't really told you why I started this club and where I've been and what I've done and how I've got to be where I am right now. There are a lot of things that are really heartbreaking. We live in cities. I'm from Muchudi myself, and Muchudi is a big village, and we're
Mm-hmm.
closer to Habroni, so we have resources, we have access to a lot of things, and we're exposed, and education is better where we are. But when you go further, 500 kilometers, 600 kilometers, 1,000 kilometers away from Muchudi and Habroni, there are children living in dire poverty, and the struggles they're facing are so heartbreaking because it's either nobody cares when they try reach out, or it has become a norm that things should just happen. Take for instance, I've been in places where young girls go through like mental traumas and physical traumas where they are raped, where they are sexually abused, or where they are just used by like through incest, defilement, and all that by people they know. And sometimes they can't report because the mother knows what is going on, or the neighbor knows what is going on, or it is somebody with authority in that village that is actually taking advantage of this particular girl or this particular girl. And when you want to report to the social worker, or you want to go to the police, or you want to do something to try help, you find that actually everybody knows what is going on, but nobody's bothered.
Mm.
Like they're saying, no, I'm helping them. I'm buying them toiletries. I'm buying them food. I'm helping her do this. And you're taking advantage of a girl who's 15 years old, and you're saying, because you're buying her toothpaste and sanitary pads, you're looking after her. But you're actually sexually abusing her, and she's underage. So, I mean, as a teacher going through these different places, I just decided that maybe the best thing that I can do, because I'm a mother, I have a young girl who's 12 years old, and I'm a girl as well. I know how it is to be desperate. I know how it is to live in poverty. So I thought providing sanitary pads or having a charity club that focuses on helping a girl child, even a boy child, get through school would do something. I mean, it's only like I help around 2,000, 3,000 people, candidates rather, or students around Botswana, where we've actually set committed ourselves to. And that is nothing compared to how many children are out there who are being abused, who are living under poverty, who need assistance. So I only do what I can with what I have, depending on where I have exposure to. Like right now, I just moved to the northern west part of the country, and there is so much need. Like it's shocking. This place is beautiful. This place is right in the Okavango Delta, like where the
Mm.
heart of tourism in Botswana is. But you should live. You should see how
Mm.
people live here. You should see how young girls are abused. Like it's shocking. I mean, every second day you see a young girl under 15 pregnant. You see a girl who they come in, oh god, it's like, I mean, I don't want to say that it's frustrating, but I want to say something as simple as a sanitary pad can change somebody's life, in the sense
Yeah.
that if you get assistance to get a sanitary pad, you can be able to actually be be saved from somebody taking advantage of you. A sanitary pad could also
Yes.
help you
Big.
to get
Yeah.
through school, yeah, and be productive.
Yeah.
And a
Mm.
sanitary pad could actually open a conversation with somebody to say, I need one, two, three, but I need help. There are children who are living in families where abuse is going on left, right, and center, and they have nobody to talk to because it has become a culture, it has become a norm that the abuse goes on, and they have nobody to cry to. And then you come to a place like this where you want to protect a girl child, or you want to see all the children going to school, and you have no power. Like I am so powerless. Like
Mm.
I'm the most useless person that you could ever meet here, because I'm from Muchudi, and in Muchudi I know a few people that I could say one, two, three and report if there's anything going on. But then you come to a place like this where we have vast cultural differences. We speak three totally different languages, and our understanding of the world is totally different. So you
Mm.
can't really break a barrier like that. It's going to take years for me to even reach out and say, I'm here and I think we should take this matter to police or to the social worker. Nobody does. Nobody cares. Nobody thinks it's okay. I mean, we come in
Yeah,
as
I think
strangers.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think that there are a few issues that and some that you've mentioned. You're
Mm,
right that something as small as someone getting access to those amenities, right? It's
mm.
empowering just knowing that you don't have to
It
depend
is.
on someone
It's
else
so
for
empowering.
that, right? It changes your life almost instantly, and it changes the life of the people around you, because then they can focus on other things,
True.
because you'll find that it's not that I don't want to help. It's that I don't even know where to start helping, because if I can't even provide my child with the basic
Mm,
amenities, right? And the
mm.
person who's doing that is the person who's abusing them, for example, right? It's
Yeah.
like if I throw this person under the bus, how am I going to deal with a situation where now my child needs these amenities and I can't provide it for them? and
That's the
and
biggest
of
challenge.
course, yeah, and of course, the saddest part is the person who's providing these amenities knows that this family is dependent on me for these things,
Mm-hmm.
and they're taking
Mm-hmm.
advantage of that
Yeah.
knowingly. And you'll find that that taking advantage of it is also because of power. They're in a powerful position,
Yeah.
and they know that for as long as I can provide this for them, they're not going to say anything. And even if they do, I'm a key member of the community. People know me, and it's gonna be their word against mine. And
Yeah.
I will always win, because every month I drop off a few bags of mealie meal
Yeah.
at the kotla. You see what I'm saying? And not to incriminate anyone. It's the sad part is that to prevent that, this is why causes like what you like your cause come into play, where every other person now needs to sow a seed into ensuring that chain is broken,
Mm.
because if
Yeah.
I take it upon myself to say, okay, I'm gonna pick a community in out there in the far reaches of Mochudi, right? And every month, I'm just gonna drop just one bag of pads there, right? Now imagine if 500 people choose, and 500 is a very small number. Just 500
Yeah.
people around Gabs who have a connection to Mochudi say, all right, so each one of us every month we drop just one bag over there. What you're doing is you're every girl who doesn't have access to that, you are allowing that girl to feel a little bit more empowered to a point where they don't have
Mm.
to depend on someone who's taking advantage of them, on an opportunist for those things. And not only that, you're
Yeah.
also empowering that person's family, because the family doesn't have to suck up to that opportunist for that, you see.
Yeah.
And it's sad that these realities are still there. And it always takes me back to, I think it was 2015, I think, when we had the hashtag I shall not forget pressure group, which was born out of a situation like what you've just described,
Mm.
almost identical situation to what you just described. And almost what, 10 years later, we're still here, and it
Yeah.
seems like nothing has changed, and things are still the same.
Yeah.
Now, what is the goal of your movement and your initiative? Like, what are you trying to achieve?
All right. Yeah. I think I rushed into just getting into why this
Yeah, I know it's a
happened.
very emotional
Yeah.
topic, I know.
Yeah. So let me just tone down and try explain
Yeah.
what the goal is. So every year on annual basis, like in April, I walk 252 kilometers for sanitary pads. And the
Big
idea
things.
behind
See what I was saying? Big things.
yeah, I love walking, so I do it out of love and I enjoy it. So it's something
Hmm.
that if I enjoy it and I do it like that, then it also benefits other people that I'm happy. Yes. So 252 kilometers. I do it in a week or maybe in 10 days. And usually it's it's done with the whole idea of raising awareness about feminine hygiene, menstruation, and the period poverty that is actually going on around our country. So, how I came about with the 252 was calculations of our menstrual days. We have like people who have their menstruation for 2 days, for 5 days, for 7 days, some longer, depending on how your body takes it. So what I did is I did an average, say a young lady may go for 7 days for her period. Take for example, I go for 7 days, and then okay. So in 7 days, how many pads do I use in one day? So in one day, I change three sanitary pads for me to be able to be comfortable. Sometimes it's four,
Mm,
but I took it as maximum being 3 days. So I multiplied the three by seven, which was for 1 month you use around 21 pads, right?
mm,
So
mhm,
that's around packs or 4 packs of sanitary pads, depending on how many they are in a package. And then in a
mhm,
term is around 663 sanitary pads, which is around 6 packs or 5 packs of sanitary pads. And then on a yearly basis, which is annually, it comes to 252 sanitary pads that a girl uses for the whole year.
mm,
So I do the 252 walk so that I can raise awareness to say a young girl needs 252 sanitary pads out of 365 days for her to be productive. So for her to be able to go to school, to attend her lessons, and to enjoy being a girl, she needs to have those sanitary pads and be able to actually enjoy life. Even as a woman, as a woman, for me to be able to go to work, to be able to do things, when my days come, I have to have a sanitary pad. So on the capacity of being a teacher and seeing these girls and their struggles and how some of them miss lessons, because I had a child that at least a week every month would miss school. And then I was like, no, this is not happening. And when I found out that in other classes, there are girls that when they have their periods, they just stay at home. They don't come to school because a lot of them had to use cotton or towel cloths, or they didn't have
mm,
anything. So that is when I actually really emphasized to say, I am going to do this work and I am going to rally behind every girl child who needs a sanitary pad. And I'm going to make sure that at least on timely basis, we give them enough sanitary pads so that they can make it through the term. And then eventually every second term, third term, we give them so that they're able to attend school and finish or complete their basic education. Because I'm so big on education, mainly because I wouldn't be who I am without education, especially in Botswana. We don't have many opportunities if you're not educated. You have to be able to read, you have to be able to write, you have to be able to converse for you to understand somebody. Or if you want to sell something, you have to be able to have the confidence to stand in front of somebody and say, hi, I'm selling a watermelon. Would you be able to trade it for 20 bucks or something so that I can be able to feed my family? So the idea is empower a young girl so that she can go through school and she can be educated and provide for herself and provide for her family. So it becomes a domino effect. If you help that girl, she eventually graduates, helps her family, and then they move a little bit away from the cycle of poverty and life is better. They are reduced issues of domestic violence. They are reduced issues of abuse. They are reduced issues of sort of killings, because I've met situations where men or boys end up killing their girlfriends because they say, I've been providing you for you for the
mm,
past 3 years and you can't break up with me. And I'm like,
mm.
that shouldn't happen. So the smallest thing like providing a sanitary pad should actually come easy for them so that the other struggles I can't help with. But a mere
Yeah.
sanitary pad should be something that I can be able to help with. And for the past 3 years, um, we've done this work and it works. We've raised over 20,000 sanitary pads. Please give me a minute. Hi. Ke bua le ena hle papa. Ke tlo ke di go adima ko e bo lebella dipapadi. Bua e botsa ma. Mo re re hello. Eh. No. I need to finish this. Hi. Say hi and bye.
Hi, how are you?
Okay, thank you, Papa.
What's your name?
Bring.
Okay, nice to meet you. Yeah.
Letty.
Okay.
Go
Can
tell
I
mommy.
finish with mommy now? Okay, just give her the headset and I'll finish with her. Then you can come back. Okay.
I'm sorry about that.
That's cool, boy. I know about boys and their moms. You guys have the most amazing
Oh my
relationships.
God. Like he
So
said I'm
I
taking
don't
too long
fight.
for.
I don't fight when it comes to boys and their moms.
Yeah. No, stop it before it. Let's get 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Say something.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Good boy. Sama. Kote ko kwa di mas ko. Eh, o tsentse di headphone ene. Ona le studio. Sama. Okay, can I just take him out?
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go.
Um, all right, so Agrieneth is busy dealing with family. That's always amazing to see. But yeah, I was just going to add to what she's saying to say that she's very right, and it's really sad. It's really sad, and I think um, everyone who gets a little bit of an income wherever they get it should be putting money away just to help these girls, get by because it's unthinkable, and I think it's crazy in a society that's supposed to be progressive, um, that you have people who are not able to get the quality education simply because they don't have ways to deal with that situation. um hey.
Hey, sorry about that.
That's all right. That's all right. Again, that's the beauty of. I always say that's the beauty of podcast TV because anything can
Yeah.
happen, and you just roll with the punches and you just keep going. You don't stop.
Thank you so much for
We don't. We're
understanding.
not. We don't get embarrassed. We don't throw people off. No, we just keep moving. That's what we do. So
Yeah.
I was just saying, it's really sad, and I fail to under. It's really something that I fail to understand in today's society, that we still have something like this still happening. Like I fail to
Yeah.
comprehend it. And you're very correct in saying that, we try and deal with the bigger issues, right? And we try and say, let's deal with education, let's deal with domestic violence, let's deal with statutory rape, or sexual abuse or prevention of sexual abuse, or all of those things. And sometimes we forget that actually the symptoms are, at a much lower levels that are very close to the person
Mm-hmm.
themselves. And
Mm.
as soon as you start dealing with those issues, empowerment is not me buying you a cell phone or even me paying for your
Not
school for a
even.
year.
Mm-hmm.
Empowerment is me, you knowing that, oh, I can go to school every day and I don't have to worry about, staying home because I can't
One,
afford
two,
one or
three.
two things
Mm.
when these things happen, right? I feel that's real empowerment because if I'm paying for your school and you're still missing 3 or 4 days a week, or sometimes a week at a time because of your period, then
Mm.
I'm not really doing anything, you
Yeah.
know?
You are
And that
ignoring. You
resentment.
actually. Mm.
Yes, and that resentment, right? To say, but why do I have to miss school when this guy doesn't have to? Will
Yeah.
continue, and it will grow into something much bigger when you finish, when you get to university, and when you finish, right? And sometimes, even for boys, when a boy learns that, oh, so I can take advantage of this, like you said
Mm.
correctly, that also grows into something a lot bigger, where now a man feels like I can own a woman,
Mm-hmm.
because when I was 19 and I had a small job, this girl was 16 and she was dependent on me,
Yeah.
for these things. Now when I'm 30, there's nothing she can tell me because I'm the reason why she got where she got. So it's
Oh,
it's
that's
a
so true.
it's a real thing. And I just want to ask, in your opinion, I know we all want to change the world, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We all want to change the world, but in our small little pockets, right? Because
Mm.
these issues are happening everywhere. In your opinion, how do we start sowing these seeds slowly but surely in our own little pockets? How do we start talking about it, to say to other men, for example? How do I sensitize my peers on issues like this? right? Because
Yeah.
the thing that, because it happens to women, right, and not men,
Mm.
it means I can take away something from me and put it there without worrying that I'm losing anything. I don't know if you get,
Yeah.
my
Yeah, I do.
mathematics.
I do.
Yeah.
I
So
do.
how, where do we
You know,
start the conversation? Hmm.
okay. Like I said initially, that I want more men in this conversation and I want more men involved. It took, I've been running this charity thing for the past 15 years. I've been doing charity work for so long, and myself, I mean, as much as I go, I face situations where somebody wanted to exchange sexual favors for support. You see how difficult it is. I'm trying to do community
Mm.
service, and somebody says, I can give you 10K to do one, two, three for your girls or for your charity, as long as I tap." And I'm like, I'll pass. So I struggle with a lot of funds, mainly because when you reach out, people always want favors in return, and I'm like, I'm trying to help people who have nothing. I have something, and I know how it is to have nothing. So I said to my dad, sometimes some of this conversation you need to have with your fellow mates, because it's so much of cultural than anything. Let's be honest. When it comes to issues of raising a girl child, when it comes to issues of a girl developing into a woman, it's all cultural, and expectation is a mother or a woman should do it, and all men have excused themselves from the conversation, or from the whole idea of how do I help. It took my dad 5 years to actually warm up to the idea of talking to me as her daughter about menstruation, about going into the shop and buying sanitary pads. My dad is a very cultural man, and
Mm.
he wanted nothing to do with it. But because I've been doing this and driving this whole project, my dad now can stand in front of young girls and he can talk confidently, telling them one, two, three about menstruation and how they can look after themselves during that period, and how they can actually help themselves to understand better by going to the clinic if they don't have anybody to talk to. So it has taken time for me to break that barrier with my dad. And it has also taken a lot for him to talk to his friends about it, because I said, if you have the conversation with people that you know, it actually reduces the tension if I come in and start talking to them about it, because
Mm.
I've wanted more men closer, because I talk, I have VDC support back at home. I have social worker support. I have the sort of men from the Kotla support, but they don't want to talk about it. They want to talk about it, but actually hidden behind support. They don't want
Mm.
to say
Mm.
menstruation. They don't want to say the word pet. They don't want to hold it. And I said, if you are going to help somebody, you need to actually show them that menstruation is not something that you should be ashamed of.
Yeah, it's not
So
taboo at all.
it's not.
Mm.
So if you are open about it and you tell this young girl that having menstruation means that you are growing into a young woman, and when you are growing into a young woman, this is what happens if you don't look after yourself. Because we have young girls getting pregnant on that first month of menstruation, because they had no clue what is going to happen if they have sex. And that's
Imagine.
why we have this that's why we have this feminine hygiene talks, because they have to know their body. They have to understand that this is what happens on day one and day two, day three, and then this is how I can protect myself, or this is how I can say no when somebody sort of advances to say, I want you to be my girlfriend, and if you are my girlfriend, this is what you should do. Or because I
Mm.
gave you 10 pula yesterday, that means today
Mm.
we have to kiss and hug and eventually take off our pants. So you need to
Mm.
be able to actually break the ice with the children, talk to them, and then talk to their parents, teach the parents how to talk to their children, because our parents don't talk to us. Like it's like they expect us to learn at school and then keep it like that. But then they're shocked when we come back home pregnant. They're like, oh,
It's-
you've brought shame to our family. But they forgot that they didn't give you time to talk about this issue. Like
Mm.
it's you have a boy child, you have a girl child, but women are more ashamed of the girl child coming back pregnant. They're not ashamed of their son impregnating a young girl. But this is a two-way thing. It's a tango. Two people
Mm.
have to do it, and for it to happen, they both wanted to be in it. Maybe someone was coerced or whatever. But
Mm.
if you talk to your son and if you talk to your daughter, You actually give them confidence to be able to say, no, I don't want to do this, or to say, mommy, I met a boy and I like this boy, but this boy says he wants to do one, two, three with me. What should I do? So if you've come to that point, then you're going to find that it's easier to actually break the barrier, and people can actually help more because now they understand. Trust
Oh,
me, a
true.
lot of people don't understand what is happening about menstruation. They just leave it and ignore it and they say women will deal with it. And you find that a lot of people have actually accustomed themselves to saying, when I'm having my periods, I stay at home.
Mm.
And that's where the challenge is, because if you're not productive, you won't have food, you won't have money,
Hmm.
you won't have anything. So, as you were saying, that bringing a bag and maybe more people bringing bags, it starts with education. You have to understand what people are going through. You have to expose yourself to that environment and talk to them and understand. And if you can't, we, some of us like me, are there to actually educate people to say a lot of people are facing challenges. And the best you can do is maybe just spend 50 pula, buy 2 packs of sanitary pads, and you're actually changing a life. You don't have to spend thousands. You don't have to even spend hundreds. You can say, I'll commit myself to paying for a young girl sanitary pad every month. And that's around like 3 packs. That's around $30, $40, $50, depending on which brand.
Mm.
And believe me, by doing that, a lot of dynamics changes, because then nobody has to depend on a guy giving her money to buy basic toiletries. Like the biggest challenge I see young girls going through is depending on people to give them money so that they can have all this. It all starts with sanitary pads and eventually becomes a lifestyle of depending on somebody, and then
Yeah.
they control
Yeah.
you and you have
Hmm.
no choice because maybe you decided to quit school because somebody was giving you more money than you should have, and
Mm.
later on you have no education, you have nothing to show for yourself, you can't even look for a job, so
And
now
you
you
know,
have to
and
do
you
this
know,
enough.
another
Yeah.
thing is not only that, but you don't know how to empower yourself
Yeah.
from there, even because you know,
Mm,
for example, your cause, for example, this cause that you have, right? You
mm,
know exactly what you need money for. You want to put it
mm,
into this cause right here, and that's because of the empowerment that you received, that's because of the education that you received, that's because of the
mm,
confidence that you gained, right? And what you'll
mm,
find is someone who is just worried about the most basic necessities, right, has no empowerment. So when as they grow older, that's it's always going to be a basic thing. It's like, no,
yeah.
I need money from for my hair. You know, it's
Mm-hmm.
like, well, is hair really the most important thing for you right now, right?
Yeah.
Or I need money for my nails. It's like, okay, but
Mm,
is that the most important thing for you right now? But because of that mentality and where it came from, you just get stuck in that in that situation. You can't get out of it. All right, so this little man needs attention, so I'm gonna let you do your thing, right? But I
let me
just
just wrap up
have
before. Yeah.
do your thing.
Okay. Yes, I just wanted to say this April, because today is the 1st of
Yeah.
April, I have my walk on the 21st of April to the 28th, and through
Okay.
you, through any other friends or whatnot, I need support, because each year it's always a challenge, and raising funds and actually raising enough sanitary pads for the girls. So maybe you can just diarize it and say, you're coming to walk with me 20 kilometers for the first day, and then we can have sort of a live chat through it, and then you can reach as many people as you can,
Mm,
so that
yeah.
people get to be part of the conversation and people get to actually understand that I may be doing it every year, but it's not something that, because I've raised 20,000 sanitary pads, that it ends there. Every year there's a need, and
Mm,
every year there are more girls who need
yeah.
sanitary pads. So I'm just saying thank you so much for this, and I hope that having this chat with you would actually make other people aware to say there's a need out there, and if we have a little thing to spare, like $10, $20, $50, please come through and help us and buy sanitary pads or donate some money so that we can be able to achieve the goal.
Absolutely. We're definitely gonna attach ourselves to this cause, and we'll definitely
Sure.
use this platform to push this agenda and every chance
Yo.
we get, we're gonna talk about it. I sent you something via WhatsApp. Please have a look at it.
Yeah.
And we're gonna chat
Yo.
some more. We're
Yes,
gonna
yes.
chat
We're
some more
definitely gonna
on
chat some more. Yeah.
how to make it happen. All right, cool.
All
Let me
right.
leave you with your little prince over there. We'll chat a little bit later. Thank you so much for
Thank
taking the
you so
time.
much. I really appreciate you. I need to go now.
Anytime. All right, cool.
All right, cheers.
Bye.
Bye. Come on, boys. Come
Cheers.
on.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, I love this little guy. This little guy is brilliant. So that was Agrieneth. Agrieneth, like she said, she's been a friend for a long time, and she's doing some amazing things up north over there. And I think this issue of period poverty is a serious thing. And I think dealing with this is the key to empowering the girl child even more, and to empowering the boy child to learn about his own responsibilities and what it takes, what empowerment means. Because as a boy child, if you learn early enough that, oh, girls go through this situation and this is how I can help, the earlier you learn that, the earlier you actually step into the boots and become the provider and the nurturer and the protector that you're meant to be as a man. So thank you so much to Agrieneth for taking the time to chat. As you could see, she's got her hands full. She's got her hands full. But this was an amazing and fruitful conversation that we just had. I'm gonna take a short break, just a short, as they call it, health break. I'm gonna take a health break, like a 5 minute break. I'm gonna play a quick track, and then we're gonna come back and continue our conversation. This is, I call it, converse reactions, because it's about conversations and reactions. It's a bit of both. So we'll be back in a little bit. If you're watching this tomorrow, hey man, that's cool. I ain't tripping on you. It's all good. I'm just gonna play some of my favorite songs, um, and then we will be back. Yeah.
Thinking about you on a daily now. I need you to hold me down. I love it when you are around. You can't see, don't want you to leave. Can you see what you do to me? I can't tell, I love bottling. The kisses and the cuddling. They nice and I told you that.